Hey everybody, so we are just over a quarter of the way into this NHL season and there are already some huge surprises around the league. Some teams that are playing way better than expected and others that have been really big disappointments so far. In this video, we're going to take a look at 5 teams that I severely underestimated heading into this year, back when I did my predictions before the season started, and these are teams that are playing way better than I ever thought that they would. Before we get into it, this video is brought to you by Pirani's Hockey World. Pirani's is an online store with a huge selection of name brand hockey equipment and apparel. If you or someone you know plays hockey, please check out the link down in the description. There's a huge selection of awesome products, all available at great prices to be shipped right to your door. And with the promo code NEWGEAR, that's NEWGEAR, New Gear, you can get $10 off of any order, $50 or more from Pirani's. So please check out that link in the description and shop Pirani's Hockey World. But now it's time to get into these 5 teams, and these are certainly not the only 5 teams that I underestimated, but these are ones that have really stood out to me. And we're going to start in the Pacific Division with the Seattle Kraken. My original prediction was Seattle going to finish 6th in the Pacific this year. I knew that they were going to be better. They made some really good changes in the offseason. They added some really good pieces, especially with that forward group, but I was not expecting this. 15-7-3 so far on the season, 2nd place right now in the Pacific Division, and I thought Seattle was going to be better than they were last year. I was not expecting them to be this much better than they were last year. Just absolutely incredible start to the season for the Kraken. And, I mean, they're looking like a team that's headed to the playoffs right now. Obviously, there's still a lot of hockey left to be played. But if Seattle keeps up playing at least remotely close to how they have so far this year, they will be a playoff team this season. And right now, holding strong 2nd place in the Pacific. Another team from the Pacific that I want to talk about is the Vegas Golden Knights. I thought Vegas was going to be a borderline team this year as far as getting into the playoffs or not. I was kind of expecting some of the same struggles from last year to carry over, but that has not been the case at all. Vegas has absolutely lit it up. They are the best team in the Western Conference right now as far as wins and points are concerned. They're 1st place in the Pacific Division with a 19-8-1 record. For a team that I thought was going to finish in 5th place and just outside of the playoff picture, that has not been the case at all. Vegas has really been one of the more dominant teams in the West so far this year. One of the best teams in the entire NHL, and they are rolling right along right now. No issues so far for the Golden Knights. Logan Thompson has been incredibly good in goal. So has Adin Hill. And just a lot of things going right for the Golden Knights this season, playing very good hockey. The next team on the list I want to talk about is the Winnipeg Jets, who I predicted to finish 6th in the Central this season. And, well, here they are leading the division just over a quarter of the way in. Winnipeg obviously made a big coaching change in the offseason, bringing in Rick Bowness, and he's done a fantastic job with this team. They had a very disappointing season last year. Just seemed very dysfunctional. Just not a lot of things going well, not all on the same page, not playing well. And I thought we were going to see more of the same from the Winnipeg Jets again this season, but it's been the exact opposite. They have really improved their game. Connor Hellebuck is a Vezina Trophy candidate again down in the goal for them. They're playing much better overall defensively. They've got a more balanced group up front as far as scoring is concerned. Like, just this team has really put it all together this year. They're now 16-7-1 on the year, 1st place in the Central Division, and Winnipeg is really blowing me away with the way that they've played this season. Moving over to the Eastern Conference, we've got my Boston Bruins here on the list. Boy, oh boy, did I not expect this from Boston. A lot of people were really down on the Bruins heading into this year. There were quite a few people around the hockey world predicting them to not even make the playoffs. I thought that they were going to be a playoff team, but I thought they were going to be right around where they were at last season, right at around the 100-point mark. wild card team, maybe third place in the division if things went really, really well. I predicted them to finish fourth in the division and make the playoffs as a wild card again this season. Well, they have certainly blown my expectations out of the water so far this year. They are currently 21-3-1 on the year, first place in the Atlantic Division. They've been one of the best teams in the entire NHL all season long, and they only have 4 combined losses 25 games in. They have won 21 out of 25 games to start this year. I never in a million years thought that the Bruins were going to be this good. I wasn't as down on them as some people were, but I was at least somewhat a little worried heading into this season. There's no reason to be worried anymore. This team has been absolutely phenomenal this year. 21 wins is tied with New Jersey for the most in the league right now. Boston actually has one less game played, so technically they're first overall in the NHL right now. It's just been an absolutely fantastic start for the Bruins. They've gone through some injuries. They've survived those injuries. They've been able to play through it and just keep winning games. And the Bruins are absolutely rolling right now. And there's only one team left to talk about, and I think you guys know who it is. Finally, we get to the New Jersey Devils, who are probably the biggest underestimation so far this season from my perspective. A team that I thought was going to finish 7th in the Metro Division and still not be ready yet to make that jump has completely made that jump to being one of the best teams in the entire NHL. 21-4-1 on the season, tied with the Bruins at 21 wins for the most in the league, like we just talked about. They are leading the Metro, and boy, oh boy, what a shock this has been to me with the New Jersey Devils. Listen, we all knew that the Devils had a lot of good young talent. Players like Jack Hughes and Nico Hischier and Jesper Bratt and, Dawson Mercer, Alexander Holtz. I mean, there's so much young talent on this team and recent draft picks and guys that we know are going to be good players. But I didn't think they were going to be ready yet. I thought this was a team that was still a year, maybe 2 years away from really starting to become a playoff contender and making that jump, moving up, and really starting to become a team worth talking about in the Eastern Conference again. And, well, it hasn't been a year or 2 years, and this team has become one of the best in the league so far this year. I'm honestly not exactly sure how they're doing it, but they are getting great production from really everybody across the board there. Their young players have all really stepped up and had great seasons. They're playing much, much better defensively this year than they did at any point last season. They're getting much improved goaltending. Vitek Vanacek has been awesome for them in goal. They've had other goaltenders playing well too. Just everything defensively as far as keeping the puck out of the net is 1,000 times better than it was last season. And with the reduced goals against, that's really allowed their offensive players to shine and go out there and not have to score, 6 goals a game to win a game. And they're all producing a lot better. It feels like the pressure's off of them a little bit because they're not giving up as many goals. And that has just made them even better offensively and really allowed a lot of their young talent to shine through and be extremely productive so far this season. So to me, the New Jersey Devils, I was completely underestimating them at the beginning of this year, and they have come out, shocked me, shocked much of the hockey world, and have been one of the best teams in the entire league so far this season. 21 wins already for New Jersey, and it looks like barring some sort of monumental collapse, the Devils will be going to the playoffs this year. So those are 5 teams that I certainly underestimated back when I did my predictions at the beginning of the season. They are all playing extremely well, really high up in the standings, and have been a heck of a lot better than I thought they were going to be this season. And they're certainly not the only 5 teams, but these are 5 that really stood out to me. There's just been a lot of surprises this year. A number of teams playing much, much better than I thought they would. And on the contrary, we've got quite a few teams that have been major disappointments this year that I thought were going to be really good, and they just haven't been. We'll get into that in my next video coming up later this week. But with that, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. You can follow Off the Wall Hockey across social media using the Linktree link in the description. If you'd like to further support the channel, links to our merchandise, memberships, and donations are down in the description as well. Please keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you guys again so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you all soon.